Hello, guys. Whoever said that, I mentioned Jaime. Yes, first to say hello, Jaime is always one of the coolest people we know. And we're ready to go. Trey, start that beat. Hey guys, only if I cannot go out. Control. I'm sitting here running me scout. Oh no, I live in San Antonio, bro. So we just tied the first round draft pick. And no, the Spurs be winning, and only if I can't give it go. You knew that forever I can run it if I never know. Ooh, we had Blair on the show. It's gonna be a good time. This is what I know. Only if I can't break, cause I'm feeling it, yo. Yeah, I gotta share it right now. I'm at the Flows to You Facebook page, and I'm about to share it to all my homies. Now I gotta do it forever but never see. Did you understand what I gotta do? Like he ha. Only if I gotta go. You want me to break it down? Now I can't stop. And only if I can, I rip it through. You can look for me, and now I'm talking about your whole crew. Ooh, only 40 seconds left to rap. Only if I can pretend like I gotta be that. Now I'm giving all, sitting here for y'all. I just sold the toy again, and now straw. Only if I can't break them all. I'm sitting here forever, and I gotta make them fall. Do what I was doing, only if I cannot call. You got my little dreams, and I'm thinking, do you know? Oh no, I am out of control as I'm rapping, yelling out loud, and here's my passion. I'm not capping, only if I got that. You know what I'm doing, homie? This is my rap. Now I gotta be. Only if I couldn't do it, I'm an MC. Yes, I am rapping like I never be. Now I do what I was doing. See you later, Jaime.
Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you.
Hello, hello, hello. What is going on here? I'm sorry,
It's our
Trey.
overlay.
Trey, I forgot that I forgot
Do
you
things in the background.
your control again. I had those few weeks where you made me do all the production, and so now we're back to seamless quality production, guys. I apologize. We have the amazing producer.
Speaking of seamless project, what did you say? Production quality?
Yes.
How was everybody's week? What is the wait for it headline of the week? Cue air horns now. Thank you, Maestro. All right, Jason, what's your headline of the week?
I have a few. Oh, you know what? Sad goodbye.
Oh, that sucks.
Aw.
Blair, do you want to go next? Or
Yeah,
do you want to save it for last?
I got one. I'll be the sandwich. I mean, the filling in the sandwich.
Okay. You can go last though, because we have our guest go. Meaning when you tell the story, you can go right now.
Okay. I'll go
We
now.
wanna
I'll
hear
tell the
yours
story last.
Yeah.
Yovo opens children's center in Ghana.
Okay. Wow.
Nice.
Probably destroys all of our stories. I was backhanded by a force of nature.
Nice. That's crazy. This is a end of an era, Trey.
What do you mean?
Today is the last day
For you to be living in your house.
for us to do the live stream from my house. And so this will be the last time that you'll see this background. You'll still probably see the Flows for You sign and the hats and all the other stuff, but the actual room, I'll be at a new place as of Monday of next week.
The memories, the good times.
It's so funny.
Continue because you're getting a new place.
It's funny as I look back at the either the intros or all the other videos like on Facebook or Instagram or all the places, you see the evolution of my back of my space. It starts with like empty room to like some things, and then it's hilarious when I had good lights and all those things, and it's just funny how it works. And
I
so
feel like our whole show is evolved over time.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I didn't have this. Matter of fact, most of this was not here for a long time. and for good reason. But hey, collections, right? I'm sorry to hear that, Jason. But I'm happy you're getting a new house.
Yeah, no, I'm excited too. And so
And it is a house, right?
Yeah, it's my own personal house that I own.
That's a winner chicken dinner for me.
Yeah. Hopefully,
congratulations.
If everything works out, you'll get to see it when you come down. So, but we'll see. But all right, how about you, Trey? What do you got for us?
Well, I was backhanded by a force of nature. And what I mean by that is me and my girlfriend, Erin, we went to Akron, Ohio this weekend. That's where she's from. And we got to see the church up there. And I got to meet a couple people, a lot of her friends. And then some of them I already knew just from networking and knowing people. And we, on our drive back, there was a tornado watch. So that was not fun. And literally she drove most of the way there and back, and I offered to drive at any point in time, but she wanted to drive, and it was her own car, and I understand that. So the last hour and a half is golden. It's great. The last 30 minutes of us, like literally we're like more or less 30 minutes away from home, and it just starts, I mean, downpouring. Like I cannot see the road downpouring. I'm not saying like it's really raining hard. I can't see the white lines on the road. So
Wow.
I'm popping my flashers on, and I almost pulled over, but I kept going. She's freaking out. I'm like, hey, can you check out to see where that tornado was? And so she's like appalled by what's going on around us. I was like, Aaron, please check. But Aaron, please check. So I was like, do I need to stop? Do I need to make a U-turn? Do I need to not continue driving?
What am I doing?
And then at that point, we start getting pelted, and she thinks it's debris. I'm like, no, that is hail. And apparently we were miles away from golf ball sized hail. We were getting hit with like, I don't know, maybe pebble sized hail, but it was still very loud, and I thought it was going to crack the windshield. It was very scary. I'm glad we made it safely home. There was a lot of rain, a lot of crazy weather, and did not expect that. So there's that. That's my headline of the week.
Man, yeah. Once I had my car hit by lightning when we try to chase a thing, and so, buddy, I can't actually do this right now. I'm doing a podcast. Could you take this to mom and she'll take care of it? No. I know. Do you want me to look? Are you looking at arcades? Is that what you want to look at? Okay. Sorry, guys. 1 second.
It's just real life, right?
My son has decided that he must have, with the new house, that one of his housewarming gifts is he wants a actual full-sized arcade.
You know what, though? I want a pinball machine, and I moved into this house 2 years ago, and all I want is a pinball machine. So, there. Exactly.
I've got them all.
Can you go into the room?
I would love to have pinball machines in my house. I would love to have any arcade. I want just a man cave to have all the retro stuff. All the things. Anyway.
We started. And all we have is a broken foosball table. But like one day we'll have a pinball machine.
It'll be that time. Someday you're gonna get your time.
Yeah.
Blair, we want to hear your headline now because clearly we saved the best for last.
Okay. Also, hi Jamie. My favorite pinball is South Park. There's a South Park one. It's really funny, especially when the sound is on.
Perfect.
Okay, my story. I just got back from a 5-week trip. That was ridiculous. I shouldn't have done it the way I did it because I'm no longer a 19-year-old backpacker. But I started off in Ghana, Africa. And I helped open a children's center for at-risk youth, which is what my headline is. And then I went over to Uganda to track gorillas in the jungle. And then I went over to Croatia to like a private island to do some masterminding and traveled around with my sister. So,
did you get to meet 30 Seconds to Mars?
No. Are they on?
Side story for a later time.
Okay. So anyways, Yovo is in Ghana, what they call white people. And what happened was at the end of last year, I ended up connecting with someone who had a really beautiful vision to open a children's center for at-risk youth in his hometown. And he found the perfect building and needed some financial help to secure the building. And my movement, the Global Resilience Project, is a social enterprise. And the amount he needed was something that it was in our budget. And I thought that's kind of where it started and ended, was me supporting him opening it. But with me planning to go to Uganda to track gorillas, I was like, hey, I'm going to Africa. I should come check out the children's center. And the map is wrong. It's not really as close as it looks, let me tell you. And so it ended up being a big to-do. Like we ended up on the like local radio that I streamed to my Facebook. We had journalists from TV, media, newspaper, children's center. And I'm talking, this is developing world. Like nothing like this has ever happened. This big opening. We had the mayor came and we all, you know, had speeches from the mayor, the priests. We had the local chiefs come. We blessed the land. We did a ribbon cutting, me and God's Way, who is the person who started the children's center, and the mayor all cut the ribbon. I ended up all over news in Ghana, and it was just really special. And I didn't wake up one day and be like, I want to help open a children's center for at-risk youth. It just kind of fell into my lap, and I didn't expect to have my face or name really associated with it, but it was a really cool thing. And part of it was they do something called libation, which is like a ceremony where they pour out liquid, usually alcohol, and they like pour it on the ground for like the spirits and the ancestors. And I do not speak their local language, which is Ewe, E-W-E, but they definitely, I know what Yovo is, and it's white person, and they definitely gave a lot of prayer out to the Yovo when they were doing the libation at the children's center. So that's
embarrassing.
Part of my yeah, that and I you know what, Diane Fossey, is that she the one, sorry Jamie, is she, oh no, I met another doctor who worked with her. So I met someone who actually was in charge of helping protect the gorillas.
Wow,
and
that's super cool.
I met in Uganda, this is different, but in Uganda I met the first wildlife veterinarian, and she was on a book tour. Yeah, like I'm still trying to digest my whole trip. It was very diverse.
Yeah, no, first of all, congratulations. I mean, we didn't even get a second to digest that, and it'll probably take the whole podcast, but congratulations. That's super, super cool.
Thanks. Yeah.
How do you feel about all that?
Oh man, like the whole trip was like, I definitely learned to do my research, like showing up like with I showed up, met God's Way, who I trusted, but like going to Ghana, not doing research, my first time in the developing world as like a white Canadian woman on my own, not an organized trip. It was really special. I got to see the tallest waterfall in Western Africa. I went and like this stone right here, like I went and saw like an authentic like Ghana witch man and like priest basically. And I can't even put words into what I experienced in the first leg of my journey, but hopefully the reason I was there was to help change the lives of the future kids in that region, to teach them coding and social media and entrepreneurship, to break the cycle of them dropping out of school and working in the markets. So we'll see.
Wow.
That's super, super cool, and destroys both of our stories combined.
No,
so,
tornadoes and moving are very, like, first of all, tornadoes are so fascinating to me. I'm from the prairies. I've never seen one really, but they're like, I used to hide in the basement when there was a warning. And then moving and buying a house is a big epic deal. So
there are prairies in Canada?
Yeah, Manitoba. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Oh, okay. It's above North Dakota. So it's like,
I did not know that. I'm learning new stuff all day.
We have it all. We have all the things.
Wow. Super congratulations. That's awesome. I would love to talk about more about that here in a second. Jaime's blowing up the comments really quick. He says, yeah, congrats. Wow, nice. He says, boring at 40 for the homies. And he's got a bunch of other questions, but we can get to that here in a second. Next up, Jason, are you ready?
Actually, she answered most of his questions.
Oh, okay, cool. There you go. But did she answer this one? Do you like blue cheese or ranch with your buffalo wings?
Ranch.
I didn't even see that, dude.
Boom. There you go.
Ranch. Blue cheese is I can't.
Yeah.
Blue cheese? Gotcha.
Too feedy.
Understandable.
Yeah, makes sense. But the next bit is one of my favorite bits, and it is time for a quiz. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it is DJ Sound Effects' quiz.
Were you supposed to have a sound effect to your voice there?
No.
Okay, go just check it.
Again, soundboard still doesn't work. So anyway,
sounds good.
This is now time for you, Blair, to go up against Jason and utterly destroy him in a quiz. It's anyone's game, and here's the thing.
No, it isn't.
It's a true or false quiz. So it's really, I mean, a 50-50, so it's like kind of hard to get it wrong. But then again, it's really easy to get it wrong. So anyway, whoever gets the most points at the end wins. You both will get fair opportunity to answer any and all questions that I will go through. And this is random facts about life. So this is going to be awesome because I like a lot of the questions that I put on here. And without further ado, are you guys ready?
Ready.
Because
Sure.
it's time for a freaking quiz. And question number 1 goes to our awesome guest, Miss Blair. Flamingos bend their legs at the ankle, not the knee. True or false?
False.
Okay. Jason, same
Uh,
question.
True.
So here's the plot twist. It is true. Flamingos bend their legs at the ankle, not the knee. This is
Show
a
me.
random fact.
Show me.
You? I can't throw up a picture on the screen right now. I could technically, but that would cause more
Well, what
time.
if you just reenact it?
I
Yes.
can't because
Can
my
you
legs
show your
don't bend
legs
like
on
a
the screen?
flamingo's. Yeah. So they essentially stand on their tippy toes. Their knees are closer to their body and are covered by feathers. So you would probably not know that. I didn't know that before today's quiz. All right, Jason, next question. Ice pops were invented by an 11-year-old by accident. True or false?
True.
Okay. Blair, same question.
False.
You
What's
sure?
an ice pop?
I like Jason's.
Oh
answer.
Lord! Did you just hear what she said, Trey?
Is an ice pop a freezy?
It is a freezy. Yes.
You Americans.
Ah, interesting. So
call them-
then, so freezies. Freezies were invented by an 11-year-old by accident.
Okay, true.
I'm glad you answered true because it is true. You both get it correct. In 1905, an 11-year-old boy named Frank Epperson left soda powder and water outside overnight with its wooden stirrer still in the cup. I don't know why, but he did it. The mixture had frozen in the chilly nighttime weather, and so the Epsicle was born. He sold the treat around his neighborhood in a nearby amusement park and even patented the recipe. Years later, he changed the name to Popsicle because that's what his kids called it at their pops. Called their pops concoction. I almost
Wait,
almost
so the
butchered
thing
that.
with the stick in it is a popsicle.
Oh yes.
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 So not an. So we're.
Not a freezy. Sorry. I was thinking I was on the same page as you. I was thinking he was talking about freeze pops. And
popsicle.
he's not.
It's okay.
So
We
a
both got a
popsicle.
point.
Yeah.
Yes, a popsicle. Anyway, next question. Blair, how do you like sloths, Blair?
I think so. They're cute.
Good. Because you're gonna like this next question. Sloths, true or false, can hold their breaths longer than dolphins. True or false?
True.
Okay. Jason?
I think you're trying to trick us now. I'm gonna go false.
That's tough because the answer is true.
Oh.
Sloths can hold their breath longer than dolphins. And they slow their heart rates. This is why. Sloths can hold their breaths for up to 40 minutes, and dolphins need to come up for air after about 10. That's buck wild. Didn't know that. I wish I could hold my breath for 40 minutes.
Oh my
Jason,
gosh.
do you
I
wish you
can't.
could hold your breath?
Oh.
Go ahead, Blair. What
I
were
was
you
gonna
saying?
say I can't hold my breath. That's crazy.
I think Jason has developed that ability because his room stinks, and so he cannot breathe the air in his room. So he's developed this ability to hold his breath.
I mean, it's a true statement. I have. This is me in my toddler's room, and so there is definitely lots of poopy diapers in this spot. And you
Thank you.
I mean, there's a diaper genie where we put the in there, but yeah, no, it gets pretty rough in here. I
Wait,
literally,
you're podcasting from your toddler's room?
yeah.
I love
Well,
that.
So it's my room, and then if we look over here,
Oh no.
oh, it's clean, dude. You'll see the baby changing table.
A lot
and
of Amazon boxes.
Amazon boxes. Oh no, I just
Uh-oh.
lost
See,
the camera.
told
This is
you.
what I get for trying to be
Oh.
smooth.
Now, while he's
believe you.
distracted, Blair, the last and final question. This actually goes to Jason first, but Fruit
good.
Loops are all the same flavor. True or false?
What? Yes, the answer's true.
Are you sure about that, Jason?
I'm 100% sure, Trey. I'm so sure that I could bet my new house on it as long as I heard the question right.
What did you hear, Jason? Are you sure you're answering this correct?
Ah.
Yep, I'm 100% sure.
I don't know about that one. Blair, what about you? Fruit Loops are all the same flavor.
False.
What'd you
You
say?
made a bad decision,
False?
Blair. You said true.
She's correct. That's crazy because Fruit Loops are not all the same flavor. Congratulations! Oh my gosh!
And now we get to take his house.
Trey, they all are the same flavor.
I know, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. She answered it. No, the question was Fruit Loops. Are Fruit Loops all the same flavor? And the answer is true. But the way Jason said it, I didn't like his like tone and the way he said it. So I like Blair's answer more. Congratulations, you win the quiz. Jason, what does she win today?
Your house.
Moving
Moving to Texas, y'all.
She wins a
great job from Jay Pineapples. That's Jaime, and he's the dude in our comments blowing it up right now. And I sadly have missed most of them. He said, oh man, he's blowing it up. He said, blue cheese dressing is weird. I love blue cheese. What were some of the most memorable foods you experienced? Oh, okay. That's a whole question in and of itself. I don't know. Yeah, we're going to move on. Come on. He said, come on, Blair, you got this. And then he is continuing to go on. Cool.
Go to the next one.
Congratulations, Blair.
This one's fun.
Oh.
Hurry up with the quiz. I want to hear that
backstory with the Uganda children. Yeah, that's why
there's
I
actually
didn't have a
two
question.
stories, because one was Ghana, where I opened the children's center, and then I spent a lot of time with a local nation in Uganda with the Batwa people and the children of the Batwa nation, who are like the hunter-gatherers that got moved from the forest to protect the gorillas. We might need our own show for that.
Well,
oh wow, okay.
You've already been invited to do the show again. So
okay.
Also, even though it took you she had to wait like 3 months, Trey, to be on the show.
Was that how long it's been? It's okay. I had to go to Africa.
Yeah, we were so booked up, Trey, that she had to wait on the super long one. And
Jason, if I had to go to Africa, you'd wait for me too, buddy.
I would. You are at the under. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, okay. That's a new language Jason just discovered. Awesome. So perfect segue. Congratulations, by the way, Blair. You win that nice Jaime NFT that you saw earlier. It said congratulations. Jason's probably going to throw it up on the screen again. Maybe not. Not really.
I'm working on it.
Cool. There it is. That is Jaime. That is a very enlarged picture. He is not that big.
Oh, that's how you say his name. It's not Jamie. It's Jaime?
Yes, it is not Jamie. It is Jaime.
Sorry, Jaime.
He is Mexican, so he has an awesome name. That is the way it's pronounced. Anyway, that is a long time on the screen. Jason, why is Blair on the show today?
Well, when I asked Blair what we could do for a better year, she said, be kind and build you those. I was going to do it right.
That's so bad.
Resilience muscles. What, should I just go again?
Okay. Hold on. Here, right. I'm gonna. Jason, why is Blair on the show today?
Well, when I asked Blair what we could do for a better year, she said, be kind and build those resilience muscles.
One more time. One more time.
There we go.
Right, one sec.
We could do this. Do you need to do some vocal warm-ups? The tip of the tongue, the teeth, the lips?
Jason, why is Blair on the show today?
Well, when I asked Blair what we could do for a better year, she said, be kind and build those resilient muscles. Blair,
you know what?
Why do we need to do that for a better year?
Congratulations, man. I honestly just slow down. Just slow down. Because we've got time. But phenomenal. Okay, continue. Sorry.
So what can we do for a better year? Tell us. Why do we have to be kind and build those resilient muscles?
You know what? I hate to be the Blair of bad news, but guess what? Life is kind of hard. Raise your hand if shit's got hard. Can I swear on this? I sweared.
Yeah, you're fine. You got 2 of them. You have one more left. Don't use it.
Oh. So basically, life kind of handed me a difficult few years. And what I realized was that there are things you can do to strengthen your resilience muscle so that when life gets really hard, you could push through the hard time a hell of a lot faster. And being kind is so important because you never know who is going through what, because we put on this face. And because of what I just went through, which was not awesome, not I've had a really difficult time, a lot of loss, a lot of trauma. I just look at everyone, if someone's in a bad mood or having a bad day or they're not being nice, like that they're probably going through something. And I still try to be nice to everyone. And I just think it's really important and such a simple reminder, just like be kind. You don't know what people are going through.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it's so, I'm reminded that often. It's like, especially these days with how everybody has a camera waiting for you to fail. It's like, it's like even at our like store at my grocery store, our guy's walking around with a camera in his hand going, "Ooh, can you get me some food?" And I'm like, obviously, bro, I can help you out. But it's like, what are we doing? Are we just trying to get food, or are we trying to make content for your YouTube channel? And it's hard because it's like, if you're having a bad day, I think one time somebody asked me that, and it was literally like, sure, I can help you, but I have $5 to feed my family of 4 right now. I guess I could, get you some cereal that I'm about to buy. Yeah, I don't really.
Oops.
Yeah, the Fruit Loops. Now, since I don't have a home, it's what it is.
You can come over to my house and eat Fruit Loops.
Okay, cool. But yeah, no, it's just so crazy how you just have to always be on these days. And it's like how much it's just so nice to be kind because you just don't know. You just don't know how somebody's day's going.
And also, I think I've done a lot of work on healing, and I'm like nowhere near where I'm going to be healing my whole life. Intergenerational trauma and life is hard sometimes for other people, less hard. But what I really learned during the beginning of this deep healing is that when someone's not being nice or like they're in a bad mood, often we think it has to do with us, or like, why are they being mean to us? And it's usually something's going on with them. And this like perspective shift helps you walk through life with more empathy and compassion. And we all need more of that. We're not taught empathy. And it's so important. So, empathy, like being able to sit with someone else in their pain instead of brush it off and, like there's sympathy and there's empathy. We all know sympathy, like, oh, I'm sorry to hear that happened. Or sitting with them, like, that must be really painful, and acknowledging how they feel. Like, if we have more of that, I think we can help lift each other up.
I really appreciate that, Blair. I think honestly, since I hate to keep bringing it up, but since 2020, I feel like people have awakened to, people's reality does suck, and it's not just me. Or, like you said, you don't know what somebody's going through in any given day, especially if they're obviously acting a certain way or acting differently, or they're in a bad mood for some certain reason. There is a reason, and it might not just be you. Yeah. Or it might not be you at all. So I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Well, so Blair, one thing, I had this whole plan to have a conversation, but everybody's excited about your trip and all that stuff. When I say everybody, I mean Jaime. So how do we start to get to there? I guess, how did you like?
Okay, I got it.
Yeah, help me out.
You don't even have to ask a question. Let me just back up about the Global Resilience Project, because that's a key. Okay. And a bit of a content warning, like besides swearing, my story is really heavy. If you need to step away because I'm triggering you, please do. If you need help being connected to mental health professionals, I will find someone in your area for you to talk to. Wow. But like high level, I'm a child of divorce and the daughter of a man who lived with addiction. My dad was a diamond dealer, gemologist, very successful. In the 80s, he developed a severe addiction to cocaine, which eventually led to heroin and crack. He blew up the family. He left our family. He sold his business. We grew up in a very tight, small Jewish community, private school community. And I was not your typical kid, in the early 90s. My dad was pretty much like, would have been on the show Intervention type level addict. And in and out of my life, broke my heart, lots of trauma. In my 20s, I actually forgave him. I was given the tools I needed to forgive him. And I decided to accept him for who he was. And he started his journey towards sobriety, and we developed a very beautiful relationship, and I got a second chance. I know this story took a hard turn, but this is just really important backstory, because not everyone forgives. Not everyone has that power. But also because of that, I got my dad back in my life. And I had no expectations. I decided to accept whatever he can give me. And that involved him coming to visit me a couple times a year, where I lived on the West Coast of Canada and he was in the middle, in the prairies. And he, started texting and calling and Facebook messaging. That was weird. And being more involved in his parents' life and my sisters and everyone's. And he walked me down the aisle at my wedding, and I got this second chance. But at the end of
Wow.
2018, we learned he was terminally ill. And
Mm.
so learning that my dad, who I finally have back in my life, is being ripped away from me again was completely life changing and heart shattering. And so I started actually sharing our story that people didn't know. People didn't know about his addiction, and I didn't really know about it till I was an adult, anyways. And I shared our story of my forgiveness, his addiction, and our resilience. And our story was inspiring people. And it was inspiring people to seek sobriety or forgive someone or get therapy. And so I said to my dad, why don't we write a book and let's gather stories of resilience from around the world, and we'll bookend it with your story and my story. So when you're no longer here, our story can still help people. And so I started the Global Resilience Project
Wow.
in March 2019. Oh, wait, hold on to your boots. I'm going to give you a high level. Sounds like a laundry list because it is, but it was very traumatic. But for the essence of time, especially, watching the clock, from that moment on till the book coming out was about 3.5 years. The book finally came out in June 2022, became an international bestseller on Amazon, Canada, US. Very proud of it. Unfortunately, March 2019 is when the project started, and a lot of trauma happened. I had to show the world how resilient I was. I had to keep picking myself up. My grandfather, who was like my dad, died on my husband's birthday. On the way home from his funeral, we got in a car accident on a highway. I got a concussion. A few months later, my husband almost died. He had a heart attack and quadruple bypass surgery in his early 40s. This whole time we struggled with fertility. Oh yeah, COVID, that thing happened. COVID happened. We struggled with fertility, couldn't get pregnant, really wanted kids, was told I couldn't get pregnant. A year after the heart attack, got pregnant naturally without trying. Yay, but we miscarried. 3 weeks from the miscarriage, my father-in-law suddenly died after a 3-week battle with cancer. 3 months later, my mother suddenly died after a 3-week battle with cancer. And then not even 360 days later, my dad died. So in just over a year, I lost the baby and 3 parents. And I could have given up, but I didn't. I chose to keep going. Learned my dad was going to die December 2018. January 1st, 2019 was my first day of sobriety. Haven't had a drink since. Drinking was a bridge to bad decisions. But I unfortunately didn't get the book out in time for my dad to see it, but he got to watch me grow this community. And not just, it started off as a book. I didn't think I would be a childless, parentless, sober bird watcher who has this global movement to help people strengthen their resilience muscle. But here I am, and my goal is to help people be more resilient because I've learned a lot of stuff based on science. I mean, us and woo, I'm a woo-woo Jew. I like the woo and the science, but I survived it. And you know what? Life's going to get hard. We're the walking wounded. Someone you love is going to die. Someone you love may have already died. And it's going to keep happening. And no one helps us. There's no one to give us these resources. So let me be that lighthouse in the storm. And while going through all of this, we've also started a podcast and launched a very cheeky merchandise line. I became a motivational speaker. We're working on our second book, and we have a bunch of other fun projects in the works. And one of those projects happened to be accidentally opening a children's center in Ghana because we became a social enterprise. Because I'm not going to die with all my money. While I'm on this earth, I want to leave my legacy and help people. I'm not going to have my own biological children. I'm going to be a mother to many. And so that's how we got here.
That's amazing. Trying to make me cry. You're doing that the 10 minutes of Up where you're just you're watching a fun movie and then they do the backstory thing and then you're just crying and you're like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, I'd rather not. I'd much rather everyone be alive and I have nothing to share. But
Right.
I
mean, it's crazy. And there's a lot of, it's interesting because people forget I went through that. And now I'm going to Africa and doing all these things. And I have a segment coming out on a new show on Amazon, sharing the story of resilience. And everyone's like, your life's so interesting. I wish I had your life. I'm like, but do you? Everyone died and it's been hard.
Yeah.
Blair, thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate that. And I can't even imagine how hard the past couple of years have been and then some. I don't know. I just really appreciate you being on the show and sharing your story because, we've got more time to talk and I can't wait to hear more. And I just really appreciate you. So, again, there's a million words I could say, but I appreciate you being here and moving forward and getting through the toughest part of your life so far.
Thank you.
That's a lot. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Thank you.
but it's interesting. It's like you wrote a book. You're like, hey, we need to be resilient. Now it's my turn to show you how it
Well,
works.
you know what? The book actually started off being called the I Am Resilient Project. And my husband, who's like not woo at all, he's like, maybe you should stop the project because you keep attracting things into our life. And we ended up changing it to the Global Resilience Project. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, like it's like I was like, okay, I get it, world. I'm resilient. Like, can't you tell now? Like, let's wrap this up.
When I talk to people about these kind of things, death, mainly when I talk about bringing somebody in your heart, I always say, hey, one thing about the heart is that it's squishy, because you're going to get your heart squished a lot, but it's going to get back up. So you just need to be okay with that and move forward. Especially when I'm talking about people with relationships or things like that. We're like, and resilience is such an important thing in our lives. It's like we have a chance to keep going. There's no reason to give up yet. And so that's a great
Yeah.
example. Jaime himself was saying, oh,
Oh,
I think, did you have this one?
yeah, that's what I had.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
so
awesome.
sorry for your loss. That's so hard.
He said, almost had the same dad. I forgave him. This is for our audio listeners only. Almost had the same dad. I forgave him when I was 25. We got close. I lost him this past November.
It's hard. Like when you lose a parent, and I don't know if you guys have lost a parent. I mean, like I lost. So my father-in-law was like the dad I always wanted. We were
Mhm.
planning like a father-daughter kayak trip, like stuff I never got to do because my dad was not well. But
Mm.
when you lose a parent, like a part of your heart dies. Like there's no other way to explain it. Like you are going to be okay and you're going to layer the rest of your life around you, but you're never going to be the same. And when you lose two parents or like three, like you're not a real grown up until your parents die. And some people, like I know people who are my parents' age who both parents are still alive. My grandma's still alive. My grandma actually, thank God, helped us pay for the funeral because we had two funerals in 1 year. And like we bury people in Judaism. Like it's not cheap. But like some people have never had to go through something like losing a parent, and like there's nothing that can prepare you, and it is crazy. So it's actually interesting, Jaime. You'll understand this, and I don't know about either of you, but we launched it. My sister loves graphic tees, so we launched a merchandise line to help us fund the project because the project is funded by my business, and so we have a shirt that says "Dead Parent Society."
Nice.
And the tagline is the club that no one wants to join.
Oh, man. That's perfect.
Yeah.
I don't mention this much on the podcast, but I've never lost a parent, but my best friend, who was like my dad figure, because my dad was never really around. My stepdad was, but my real dad wasn't. He died the day before my wedding, and he was the best man at my wedding.
Oh no.
Yeah. And it's like, this happens. And I also believe that that was the only time in my life I could handle it. I got married. I was able to go on a cruise. I did all these things, but I was crying every day, right? Because I'm dealing with this person that, I still rap today because of him, because of the influence that he had in my life. And I still do music, even though I wanted to just stop and be like, I'm just going to go be a dad. No, I just remembered, no, you always follow your dreams all the time. That's something he did. And, it was rough him dying the day before I got married, but it was like the only time I could handle it, I guess. That's how I think of it. And but it's, yeah, I couldn't even imagine. Though my mom has, the doctors have given my mom 1 month to live twice. And so I know the hesitation of knowing somebody's going to die, but she actually is still alive like 20 years later. So,
oh my God, that's a lot of 1 month.
yeah. So it was like, wow, what is going on? And then she just still here. Got to see my I didn't have kids till I was 38, and it was like getting my mom to see my kids. It just makes me, to this day, anytime they want to talk to grandma, it makes me cry because I never knew that I was going to get that opportunity for my kids to share time with their mom. But yeah, no, I think that because we give so much in those situations, it's interesting. Somebody can even say, well, if you didn't reconcile with them, then you wouldn't have the same pain, right? Because you wouldn't have had any kind of relationship with them. But it's like, why would you even put yourself in that situation? It's like you did what we're meant to do, which is give your heart. And it's an amazing thing, but at the same time, it's a very painful thing. So enough of that.
Jaime has a perfect question, actually. He said, what seems to be the biggest impact your readers take from you the most?
Ooh.
The most common thing, the feedback I get from readers, listeners, people who just discover us, once they start reading other people's stories of resilience, is that they don't feel like they're alone. They're like, there's so many stories that are similar to mine. Like, I don't feel so alone. It's nice to hear someone putting my feelings into words, and it provides a sense of community, the sense of, belonging in a way of going through really traumatic things is very lonely. Like grief, pain, like, people talk about, there's like people surviving plane crashes, miscarriages, death, addiction. And it's very isolating and lonely because often when you're going through that, the people around you don't often understand it. So when you are reading a book full of stories and there's people with similar stories or parallel stories that tell the story and provide advice, and you see some of yourself in that, it gives you that sense of community and like not this profound loneliness that we might have going through these things.
Wow, that's amazing. I kind of resonate with that because again, like the whole, you don't know what's going on in someone's mind and what they're going through and what they're dealing with, and until you've experienced even remotely what someone's going through, you'll never understand. Because I didn't understand depression until 2020, and honestly, it really wasn't even of the pandemic. It was just where I was in the stage of life, and it was in a terrible relationship. And I literally was at rock bottom. I could not have been lower, and Jason knows this full well, and so does Jaime. But they were some of the people that I called the most every day, multiple times a day. But yeah, you never know what someone is going through, especially if you've not experienced it yourself, and you'll never understand it.
I'm sorry. That's really hard and painful. And like depression it's not like you can like take some like Benadryl and be okay. I don't know if you know what Benadryl is. Like, don't you wish it's like there's like you have to, and like like there's so many ways to get out of it, but like when you're in it, it's so hard when you're on that rock bottom, that floor. So like I've only known you for 48 minutes, so it's nice to know that you've come out of it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm happy too. So I'm glad that I've come out of it too.
Yeah. And to have all, like, being a person that was there for that, to see the victories that he's had now with his relationship now, and see him following his dreams and getting to do cool stuff, I've get to help with that. But, the idea of watching him get to do those things is very happy.
Yeah. And you know what I think is like the reason so like when my miscarriage happened, I was Googling like how to have a miscarriage and run a business. Like I couldn't find anything. So I wrote an article and put it on LinkedIn, and some people read it. I think a university somewhere picked it up for something. But like I'm a writer. Like I've always loved writing. As a kid, I would write like poetry by candlelight, listening to Enya or Prodigy. Like I'm very, I'm a vintage, I'm a vintage millennial. So like, I'm like the analog digital, but I love writing. And so I'm very honest about what's going on. There's certain things I keep private. Like my husband's a much more private person than I am. But when I share, there's people who go through similar things. And what they say is like, you put into words the way I felt. So thank you. And what happened was I kind of became this voice or this platform for people who didn't have the words or the courage or weren't ready to share or express it. And what I learned was like right now, how you both sharing these stories, like this is a beautiful, safe space to do that. And who knows who's listening to this that might relate to any of our things that we've gone through. And
right.
What I learned is the power of storytelling, besides the science behind it, which is that sharing your story helps you heal scientifically, and hearing other people's stories while you're navigating similar challenges help you through it scientifically, is that we all have these stories. And it's okay if we're not standing on a public platform like a podcast or writing them in a book. But for the people who have the voices like you two or me, we should be sharing so we can normalize these conversations about depression, about miscarriage, about your parents dying, because like life isn't all sunshine and rainbows. And like, that's what we're taught to, like, the 90s, like put on a smile and suck it up. It's like, actually, that's just, let's go to therapy and take some SSRIs actually, like
right.
Let's normalize our Zoloft.
That's fun. Yeah,
I don't know what you just said. So,
go to therapy, take some medication.
Gotcha.
Basically, like normalize that. Like normalize that medication isn't bad. Like, if you don't want to take it, you don't have to take it. But like, it's not a shit. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to be ashamed of if you have a therapist. There's nothing to be ashamed of if like life is hard and you don't tell anyone about it, but like you want to write about it in your journal. Like there's nothing to be ashamed of. And
Can you say that one more time?
there's nothing to be ashamed of.
Thank you. I just wanted you to repeat it because I feel so like even in the movies or shows or TV shows or whatever, they call therapists shrinks and they call them all kinds of different names. They're there to help you.
Oh man.
If you don't, they're there to help you. If you don't like them or they're not, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not resonating with you or they're not like, you know, what you need, move on. And that's okay. And they understand that.
Yeah. Like, okay. So a couple things. One, I was going to become a psychologist and I was on the road to it, as in like the first year of university. And I was like, oh, I'm a little too fucked up for this. I'm going to go into public relations, which is what I did. But my sister actually ended up becoming a child and family therapist. And so she's actually the Global Resilience Project's mental health director, which so it worked out really well in like hindsight. But I've seen grief counselors and like spiritual healers and like traditional this and that. Like I've literally seen everything. And I even got to a point with one of my therapists who said, after 180 Canadian dollars was spent, Blair, you're doing everything you can. Don't overdo the healing. And I said, I just spent $180 for you to tell me that I'm doing everything you told me to do. And I fired her. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to move on. But like, not every therapist is right for everyone and not every modality is right for everyone. But like, you know, we don't have to do it alone. And we, you know, like if you're not ready, go to TikTok. I'm sure there's lots of great things going on there that are going to help you through it.
Yeah.
I could say more, but go ahead, Jason.
No, I don't have anything. I mean, I was going to transition, but yeah.
Yeah, let's transition.
Well, I was just going to say before we do, I think that's really real that when you find out that you're not alone, because when you're living with what's going on up here and you feel like you're the only one dealing with it,
you're not.
It doesn't help.
Yeah.
You feel like you're going insane. It's like, oh, I'm the only one thinking these thoughts. Oh, I'm the only one going through this. It's like, that's not true, because I've gone through that revelation so many times where it's like, you struggle with that too. You battle with that too. Holy crap. Life just got real and so much better.
Oh, like when my best friends and I like all learned, we were on like similar like antidepressants. It was great. It's like we sync our garbage days, our periods, and our antidepressants. That's how you know you have true friends.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead,
yeah.
Jason.
No, you never know. You're right. You never know. Like, how many times in my life have I been like, nobody understands my cause, and then next thing I know, I'm like, you know, I'm like a stay-at-home dad and just dealing with all this stuff, and I'm like, nobody knows this. And then I walk around to just randomly bump into another guy who's like, nah, dude, I know. I used to make, you know, 7 figures, and now I'm home with my kids, but I would never want to not do this. And it's like those kind of things is like, oh yeah, amen. I needed that. I needed those situations in my life to help me get it. And I think that's amazing. So that's how you started most of this stuff. And then, you know, what else did you do after that? After with the Resilient Project, you wrote some more books, correct? And
so this is the first book, and we're actually working on the second book right now. We have we're open for submission. So if anyone has a story of resilience they'd like to share to be published in the second book, like, we have space. We're going to cap it eventually. I'd say we're about half full. And what's really cool is that we've been invited to be at the Emmys. We're going to be in a gifting lounge handing out copies of books to like celebrities and media.
Wow.
We're going to be on Amazon Prime. And like, this is only the beginning, because I'm finally out of my deep vortex of grief and I can be all in this. And before I was like a pinky toe. And so we're working on the second Global Resilience Project book. I do have another book on business. It was my practice book that I wrote while learning how to write a book, and it became a bestseller. That was kind of cool. But the Global Resilience Project, what's next is the main thing is focusing on the next book. Anyone that's in the book gets to be a guest on our podcast. With my background in public relations and marketing and social media, I do a lot of work with the co-authors and teaching them how to promote their stories and their books. And I create a lot of assets and templates, and we do trainings and events where they can speak. And my job is to basically provide a safe container for big feelings and amplify their stories. So that's my big focus now that I'm back from my trip.
That's cool.
Wow.
That's amazing. And you said that you actually, like, that's how your business, which is the PR stuff, is what actually pays for the resilience
For
or
now.
did. Yeah.
So Blair Kaplan Communications is my public relations company. I started a social media marketing business because, well, in 2008, it was a PR company and everyone saw me as the vintage millennial. And they're like, you must know how to use this thing called social media. And I didn't, but I said yes. And I took what I knew from public relations and applied it to the social space. And I've been doing that for 15 years and I've been featured in all sorts of media, and that's great. And I do strategization, strategy implementation, and a lot of social media and AI education.
Mhm.
So that's really cool. But I'm also a motivational speaker. So not only do I do workshops and speak about social media, I've become a motivational speaker who speaks around the world about resilience. And so that's one of my revenue streams. So because it started off as a book and a legacy project, the Global Resilience Project, I'm now building it out to help generate revenue to fund the project.
That's amazing. And like, even as you were saying it, it sounds like you started as one thing, and then the Resilience Project came and it kind of like vortexed everything, right? And it's like, but it even sounds cool because it sounds like you're not only doing business, but you're also helping others. So like using your expertise to help somebody else get their voice out there. I think that's amazing. I was kind of wondering how that transitioned, but now it makes sense.
The bridge is storytelling, because on social media, my thing is tell, don't sell. It's all about telling stories and making connection. And the Global Resilience Project is all about telling stories. And so what I realize is that I'm just that person who helps people. I facilitate storytelling.
Wow.
That's amazing. That is great. And I'm so happy that you found, like, it's sad, right? Like it's total disaster that got you here, that got you to that place. But now it's like you're in a place. You're not in the happiest place, but you're in a better place than you were before, and that's amazing. But it's funny how we get sculpted, how things work out. You expect one thing to be one way, and then it changes to its fullness.
Yep, I'm not a wine drinking soccer mom, and like if I can get a refund on the cards I was given, like yes, please. But this is where I'm at, and like what am I gonna do, right? Like I could lie on the couch all day or knit scarves for cats, but I got more to give than that.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Blair, if you had one thing to tell either your buyers of your book, your fans, anything, what would the one thing be right now? And this isn't your plug, because we're going to give you a plug here in a bit.
Yeah, no.
But like, what was something you tell them?
Just like, it's okay to not be okay. Like, don't be okay. If shit's hard, don't be okay, and know that you are resilient and you will get through it.
By the way, you've maxed out your curses at this point. I'm just playing.
I know I'm cussy.
Don't just say I'm just playing, Jason. Be real.
Well, we never had a hard and fast rule. So
okay,
yeah, family friendly.
G-rated right now.
Yeah, you're good. You're fine. I think all the versions worked in the storyline, and you'll be fine. So you're good to go. But I had to go with the joke there, Trey. It was funny.
It's all good. Yeah,
but no.
For you.
Watch your profanity.
I'm sorry.
That's fun.
Inside joke. Sorry.
That's yeah. I mean, now I do have to ask some Jaime questions. What was some of the delicious food you got to eat during your trip?
I'm gonna just say there's a lot of food that my stomach was not into because it was
oh no.
But I fell in love with mango, like fresh mango.
Ooh.
Like fresh mango juice. I could not get enough of it. I couldn't get enough of it. And like that's just like I'm gonna leave it there. Africa, like Ghana and Uganda, like fresh mango juice to me was like this game-changing liquid that like transformed me.
Right. Are you now do you have fresh mango juice at your house now?
God, no. I mean, like I live in semi-desert Canada. Like, I mean, I might be able to go get it at like a juice bar. I mean, I've only been home a week.
Semi-desert that's a thing?
I'm in semi-desert. Semi-desert.
I have no idea what Canada is.
I'm gonna send you pictures.
There's plains, there's deserts. I just assumed it was like Alaska, but just big.
No. We got mountains. Right now it's really hot. Like I don't know temperature, but like around maybe 100. Winter gets to be minus 40. We do Celsius, but it's the same in Fahrenheit. We have all 4 seasons, very distinct. We have all the terrain.
Yeah, nope, sounds awesome.
I've never 4 seasons, but extreme 4 seasons.
Yeah, well, depends where you are, but mostly, yeah, like very distinct fall, very distinct spring. Very hot
Yo.
summers, very cold winters.
I feel like I know nothing about Canada now. Great.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
I
Okay,
did not know either.
I will give you a high level lesson another time.
That is great.
When you come back on the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, which you definitely are invited.
Okay.
And what was I gonna say? And I was gonna
We
say,
have 5 minutes left.
oh no, we're fine. My meeting, I canceled it. So
Okay.
yeah, and I knew this was gonna go longer, and because nobody got the thing, and it was just gonna be in one guy, and it wouldn't have been very fun.
You guys are awesome. This is fun. We should just be friends.
We're friends on Facebook now, so
Yeah.
yeah. What was I gonna say? So now you did tell us you did prep the Ugandan story, if I remember correctly. So
okay, so my last little, I guess, part of this story, because 5 weeks is a lot to cram into 1 hour.
Oh yeah.
sure.
But I didn't really even know about this community called the Batwa, but I was doing my research. So they're hunter gatherers, and they're some of the what's known to be as some of the first people on the planet, and they live in the forest as hunter and gatherers. But in the 90s, in 1991, they the forest, the Bwindi impenetrable forest in Uganda, became protected for the gorillas. Like half the world's gorilla population lives in this forest, and they, like North American history, removed the Batwa from the forest as hunter-gatherers and gave them some land, and like basically was like, here, now you farm. Instead of you hunting and gathering, you farm. And we spent a lot of time with them, like going to their land, going to their homes. Like they now, instead of like hunting and gathering and surviving, they farm and they make crafts so they can survive. And like one of the wives made me this little basket, and I bought a bunch of coasters, and it was just really special. And a couple members of the community are still alive who lived in the forest 30 years ago. And I actually, and he doesn't speak any English, but there's a couple people who speak very little English. And so me and one of the younger guys who speak very little English, and this man, I did like a little interview series on my phone to start documenting these stories, because these people are older. And to get the stories of what it was like living in the forest as a hunter and gatherer, and like, what do you want the people to know? And basically, like, they never ate gorillas. They didn't hunt gorillas. Gorillas have 98% similar DNA to us. They lived amongst the gorillas like their neighbors, but they would set up traps to hunt, and sometimes the traps would take out a gorilla. So I think that's where the threat was. But like, they miss hunting antelope and living in the forest, and now they have to like conform.
Yeah.
So,
as a person that loves tree houses, I love the idea of living in the forest, as long as I can live in a giant tree house.
I mean, like it was great.
Yeah.
I actually went, like, I got to see a cave where the king lived until 1991. Like, I saw the king's, I went in the cave, and then they like have a couple huts built, and like, it was really, really cool. But they have very little, like, they are very, very, they don't have a lot of money. Like, they don't have any money. And the level of happiness these kids have, knowing they have a few pairs of shirts, maybe no shoes. Like, one girl that I fell in love with, this little girl, Serafina, didn't really talk. She whispered, and I think she was 9, but she looked 5 or 4. Like, these kids are everyone's very small. And she was wearing an oversized men's like golf shirt, but it was like white, but black. And these kids, the happiness they have without having pretty much anything, really got me thinking about like everything I have, everything I don't need, everything I want that I don't need, like, and my whole perspective on like everything we do here in the Western world. And it's just really interesting to see, like, even the kids in Ghana, like there's these 2 brothers, and they built out of bamboo a huge pergola, big covered like walkway, fences, all out of bamboo. Kids like putting it all together, brought up rocks from the river and like decorated the property. Would we see kids do that here in North America?
Absolutely not.
And like happy, like kids, like who they're all huddled over, like there's 20 kids huddled around one laptop because they want to learn how to use a computer. Where we have one kid with like an iPad, Switch, phone. I don't even know what kids have, but like,
those are all things.
Thinking about all the things that these kids don't have and their level of happiness, and all the things that the kids in North America have and the level of unhappiness.
Mm-hmm.
It just like really got me thinking, and I'm still digesting and integrating and percolating everything. But it was really special to be with the Batwa in Uganda and like really learn. It felt like I was like in a textbook. Like, am I in a National Geographic book right now? Like, it
Right.
kind of, yeah.
It's funny how this comes back to what we've been talking about. It's like, it's really about what you give your heart to. When it comes to happiness, comes to those things. Like, if you're giving your heart to things, if you're giving it to technology, you're going to be let down.
Yeah.
But as you give to people, you're still going to be let down, but you have a chance to move forward and watch the growth as a person. And that's amazing. No, I've had the opportunity to go to different communities and see that happiness with even the less, and it's just an amazing thing. So
Yeah.
that's
So-
amazing that you got to live that.
It was really cool. But then, in Uganda, we were staying at this like very much 5-star resort on top of a
Nice.
mountain. I had my own cabin and I got woken up every day with like warm nuts and a latte. And I was like, I feel very kind of like weird about this, but also that's very nice.
Right.
But it was
Excited.
very like, I don't know. It was just a lot of different feelings. And going from being in Ghana, where I was like, my hands were dirty, like I was part of the community. Like I'm talking like on the road, which didn't even exist. It was like potholes of dirt and cement. Like, you're driving like this. There's no rules.
Sure.
Like to having to pee on the side of the highway in a gutter or like on a like very, very like, whoa. I don't even know how to explain it. To like, staying in a lodge like that but being amongst these people who are, just trying to survive. It was just like the duality of the privilege that we have and like what what they don't have. And like, do we need all this? I don't know. It's just like, it's a lot.
Well,
Lot
so
to process.
how was the first week where you're like, when you woke up and you're like, husband, where's my latte?
Well, I luckily kind of deintegrated from that because I went to Croatia right after for 2 weeks. So.
Oh, good. That's
But
nice.
yeah.
They're not giving you lattes in Croatia?
Yeah, my sister did not wake up and make me lattes. I love drinking coffee in bed.
Fair.
I love it.
You know what's terrible is I take iced coffee because I hate it being scalding hot to my mouth.
Oh, I love iced coffee.
Like, I will have a coffee if it's less than, volcano hot, because I want to enjoy my coffee, but not sip it. I
can drink my coffee for like an hour. Like the first sip is too hot, but I slowly nurse it. Like it's like I don't know. But I like ice. I like blended iced coffee. I actually quit coffee for a while and it was just drinking matcha. Definitely helped my depression and anxiety, let me tell you. But
really?
Then I don't know. I got back on the coffee.
Yeah, I know how that works. I lost a lot of weight not drinking soda, and then I was like, "Sweet, not going to drink soda." And then something happened. I went back to soda. My dream.
A new flavor came out.
Yeah, they do that to me. But no, that's amazing. And obviously, as I said, I'm not playing. Where you can. Our calendar link, so please reschedule for a second time because we do not have time to talk about everything.
Okay.
But this is your time now for you to plug anything that you'd like to plug. Tell people where to find the thing that you want to talk about. And Trey, you're in control at this point.
All right. Give me 3 seconds. And you get the full screen, but not just the full screen. You get everyone's attention and go.
Well, I pretty much just plugged myself the entire time, but a couple things. If you're like, well, Blair, I want to be your friend. I want to come into your world. You can find me on LinkedIn and Facebook. Blair Kaplan Venables. Pretty sure my name is at the bottom of the screen. Instagram, I'm Blair from Blairland. It was a nickname that stuck and I kind of just rolled with it. But I'm an Instagrammer and LinkedIn or like my jam and Facebook. If you want to be a part of the project, you want to learn more about the Global Resilience Project, our website is theglobalresilienceproject.com. And if you're like, well, Blair, I want to do social media marketing with you. I want to know what you're all about. BlairKaplan.ca. That's it. That's all I need to plug.
Cool.
Awesome. That's very good. Now it's my turn. Oh, good job, Trey. I'm sorry. I don't know why I try. Why do I try to produce this show? Don't understand. Now it's time for me to make up a rap song about everything we just talked about and try not to cry. This is less of a funny show than normal, but that's okay.
Wait, dark humor is allowed.
Yeah,
Like,
and
we're all laughing while people die, like about our, like if you can't laugh.
then there's no reason to be here. I agree 100%. You
Everything
gotta
can be
laugh.
comedic.
Well,
Dead Parent Society shirts, I get it.
like Trey's face.
Wow, shots fired.
But now I'm gonna do a rap. Oh, Blair, would you like to join me on the rap, or you're like, nah, I'm good? No, you're good. Cool. I just wanted to check. Jaime, as an example, he actually did some rapping. For the first time live. That was fun. It made for a very good YouTube short. So it was nice. So all right, but all right, Trey. Oh wait, Blair, do you have a rap name, or do you want us to give you one, or do you?
Well, I don't know if it's my rap name, but once upon a time I came up with DJ Big Swigs.
DJ Big Swigs. Perfect.
And my sister was Swiglet.
DJ Big Swigs. Awesome. Jason, are you ready?
I am definitely not, but I'm going to do my best.
Perfect.
Yo, 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 we got DJ Sound Effects, Scout the Psalmist, and DJ Big Swigs on the mic.
Oh, here I go now, yelling out loud, and I'm wondering how, what am I doing if I get it down the beat? You want me to rap now, waiting for me. We did a pretty sad story, but it's okay, because life kind of hurts, but it's all the way that you deal with it as your resistance grows. If I can't even say resistance, I said it though, that's still messed up over time, and now I gotta break it, because I'm wondering why I'm not in a jungle, sitting like an Ewok in a tree, only if I can't see the treetop, and now I gotta be, because I never go down, peeing on the side of the road at Uganda now, and only if I can't see what they did, wow, then I gotta bring it up, and then I know how, and next week you will not see this room anymore, because I got a home, I'm crazy if I explore, and now I'm looking, because I see what Trey do, he's like, I'm Trey, I'm cool, and if I can't pretend to ever be what I know, if I never see the little time, then I show, only if we can't pretend to feel it, we gotta grow, see the times, and you see what I don't know, now I see it, if I can't go now, bio freeze on your back, now I got a foul, now I know what I am gonna do it if I be, if you're in the comments, please put a word up for me, I knew sometimes, I seal my rhymes, I see the controller, and I'm wondering why, don't use it to control a submarine, Trey, that would be a bad decision every day, I don't even get it if I never go down, now I gotta breathe because I can feel it right now, and I can't see what they do, now we got Blair Kaplan Venables, I be thinking, ooh, talking about these things that you know that you're true, that it's cool that you forgave your dad, dude, and had him in your life with the little Carmax. I don't even know what I'm doing if I can't relax, only if I got some lip smacking times, exhale, breathe, and a lip smacking rhymes, only if you get it, because you know that you be, she was in Uganda, all these other places be, Ghana was pretty cool, and she'd go, and then she was getting latte and warm nuts like, yo, I'm sorry, that sounds weird as I say it now, if I never see what I am doing, then I gotta see my style, exhale, and then I gotta breathe. I do what I was doing, and I'm waiting for me. Oh, now you know that you never see with the lifetime, and you on a break back beat. She's gonna be at the Emmys giving away gifts. Hey Trey, remember when we getting gifts like this? That's what happens when you're a superstar. Sometimes you gotta drive in little small cars and stinky ones. Sometimes you rinky ones. Only if I get it, cause I am the dinky one. And I gotta say, that's the rest of my rap. Exhale, breathe, do all that.
I hope you enjoyed that, Blair. That was all for you.
No one's ever written me a song before. I love it.
And
I was
Go
like, am I gonna pull this off? Just keep going, Jason. Just
You
keep
did it.
Good stuff, Jason. That was awesome.
Thank you. Well, it was very helpful because we had such an awesome conversation. There was lots of cool stuff to add into a rap. Thank you so much, Blair. I hope you had a fun time.
So good. Thanks for having me. This was great. I can't wait for round 2.
Toast. I think we're already booked out for the next 2 months. So
Well, that's great. You'll catch me after the Emmys. You'll catch me after I get on Amazon Prime. We can just do
yeah.
The shameless plugs.
I know, nice. She's like, you catch me on all my good stuff. I'll be
where we should be, but we're not.
Yeah. Well, and it's fun. I've booked us so much at this point. Now we can just we can actually pick and choose like really awesome people instead of trying to just book all the time. So it's nice. So,
awesome.
Yeah, we're in a good place.
We booked an awesome one because she's here. So
yeah, no, I'm excited. And I was, but yeah, so make sure that you like and subscribe to the show if you're listening to it on Spotify or anywhere that you listen to podcasts. Know that we do this show live on Mondays at 5 p.m. CST, and you can come join Jaime in the comments because he obviously was the only person in there today. But you wouldn't know that if you looked at the numbers. But that is an awesome thing. Please come join us. We'd love to have you in the conversation. And if you, come join it, like and subscribe, do all those things. Check us out on all the social medias. We're everywhere. I'm still working on being having it all up at the right time, but I have it, and I'm trying. Trey, I'm definitely forgetting stuff. What am I forgetting?
We would love to have you guys on the show. Feel free to hit us up at flowsforyou.com or anywhere we have on social media. We have an Instagram, we have a TikTok, and just reach out to us through Facebook. We also have a Calendly that we can send to you where you can book a spot and you can be on the show just like Miss Blair here. It's going to be some pretty big boots to fill because she's pretty awesome. So the other contender. But yes, we would love to have you on the show, and feel free to hit us up.
That is awesome. Now, Blair, this is the time of the show that I look forward to the most. You get to be Trey's therapist, and you get to make up facts and ask him questions about his life. Hopefully, you learned some things about him. Don't make him cry, please. And it is your time to ask the question. If you need any help, just say you're calling in me, and I'll come help you. So. But
you mentioned that you had this strange itching below the waist, and I'm just wondering how that's impacting your ability to show up and host your podcast.
Yeah, therapist Blair, I'm so glad you asked that question because it is driving me up a wall. I can't even focus at work because I'm constantly scratching my left kneecap because it's constantly irritating. I have to put hydrocortisone on it at all times. It's right here, hydrocortisone cream, and I have to put it on my left kneecap specifically. I don't know how I get through the day. Honestly, I'm scratching it right now, so I don't know. I just wing it.
That's good. And so, like when you're walking around with that hydrocortisone cream on your knee, do you find that wearing those really tight plaid jeans help?
You know, my addiction with wearing plaid jeans, it's bad. It's gotten really bad, and I appreciate you asking me because I have nothing but plaid jeans in my closet. I don't have shorts. I don't have swimming trunks because I swim in plaid jeans when I swim. I run in plaid jeans when I go running. I mean, I don't know. How can you help me with that? Maybe that's the fourth question mark.
I actually heard they make these new things, and they're like these plaid muumuus that are supposed to mimic the feeling of wearing tight jeans. And it's just it's like a big oversized dress. But really what's happening is that you don't wear anything
you're
under
like great at that, by the way.
It goes right down to your feet.
What is a muumuu?
Yeah. She just told you it's like a giant dress.
Yeah, so for me, the dress, I just feel like the plaid jeans are better. I don't know why, but I feel like I wouldn't really look all that good in a dress, specifically something that big.
Can you jump really high when you wear your plaid jeans?
Surprisingly, the fact that my legs are so tight wearing these plaid jeans, it actually helps with my spring because I'm always tightly wound. So I'm just ready to jump at all times.
And have you thought about maybe starting a career in volleyball?
You know what? I'm glad you asked because volleyball is actually, in real life, one of my favorite sports. Am I a great server? No. But with these new plaid jeans, man, I tell you what, it is amazing.
Tell me more about this thing you call real life. What are we in now?
I'm so glad you asked, Blair.
On that is the end of the Thanksgiving. That is the end of our awesome therapy session. Thank you so much, Blair, for that. That is the question, Trey. What is real life to you?
What is real life?
That's the question. That's the question we'll have to find out on the next exciting episode of Dragon Ball Z. So,
oh my God, my best friend's brother was one of the, I think, animators on Dragon Ball Z. It was a Canadian show, right? It's a Canadian anime,
No, it's totally Japanese.
but like done in Canada.
Voiced, maybe.
Let me get back to you. I got to do some Googling.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness!
Now we already have.
You have to be on the podcast
Now we actually have a tag. Wait for the next episode of Flows to You with Blair. You'll learn what actually happens.
Okay.
Thank you so much, guys. You are amazing. Blair, stay on the line after we close, just so we can say thank you. And thank you so much, everybody else, for being here. Make sure you put some little hearts or little smiley faces or do something as you watch the show. It's cool if you're just watching it. 2 weeks from now, I will still share it and let more people know about it. Y'all are amazing. And see you later. Hasta la pasta. Trey, are you doing the production or am I doing it at this point? See you later. Okay.
No.
Well, bye-bye.
No. Flows for you. Flows
Bye-bye.
for you.
Push the button.
Flows for you. Flows for you.
This is what we do now. This is what we do.
Man, was that so hard to say? Was it that hard? Love you guys. Blair, you've been awesome. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now.